Liftoff and the clock has started.
Goal.
And good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to another term at school. It's nice to have you here. Now, I hope you're all going to pay attention because your new seam mistress is here. Hello, seam mistress.
Huh?
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 Yes, she is in charge of the
Ever the lady.
seams, whereas I am in charge of the newfangled devices that we're going to bring in to teach you little kiddywinks a lesson. I don't know what they are yet because I haven't got this that far in my brain. The whirs of just cogging.
Cogging words. What?
What? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Shobi with the very lovely and luscious and most desirable Richard Vobes. Julia's here as well.
Yeah.
Hello, Julia.
Hello, Richard.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you
Thanks
too.
for popping out. Anyway, we have got a midweek show for you, which, as the uniqueness of a midweek show is, we have no idea what's coming up in the next 2 seconds, let alone any time soon. However, we do have a number of bits of words written on pages, haven't we, Julia?
Several words. Several. And a few names too.
We got a few names. It's an exciting show. If only the doctor hadn't written them out, we might be able to read them.
So I was being excited.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, cheese grommet.
Cheese grommet.
Something like that.
What does can you do an impression of Gromit? How does he sound?
Like
Did
that,
he ever
then.
speak?
I don't think he does.
Did he do-
Does he even grumble?
Does he do Shakespeare soliloquies?
He does this though.
Oh yes, he rolls his eyes. Now I'm not very good at rolling my eyes.
No, you've only got one to roll.
I could take it
Well,
out.
yeah. It won't even roll that well because it's not eyeball shape, is it?
No, it's weird. It's more kidney shape, which is an odd thing for an eye.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the wrong transplant.
A kidney. It's a kidney.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Nye.
No. Oh dear. Anyway, unfortunately, you might feel yourself slightly squeezed at the moment in the chat room, in the conflab area, because I've actually not put it to the right dimensions.
It's on top chat, not live chat.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Could you all move into the live chat? There we go.
Ta-da!
Sorry, we shoved you in there. Hope you didn't feel anything. It's very nice to have you with us today, Wednesday. We've been out in the Mediterranean sunshine by the pool, drinking peri-peris and eating canoe sandwiches.
Canoe sandwiches. It was all sounding great until you said that. What the heck would a canoe sandwich be then, Mr. Richard Vobes?
A canoe sandwich is obviously something...
Is it like a sub sandwich, but...
Yes, it's like a sub, but on the top. Whereas a sub is obviously... I mean, I never understand...
On the top with the top missing?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, with a periscope that goes up your nose as you eat it. Oh! It's a sharp little, sudden thing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anyway, go back to the Mediterranean thing.
Yeah, so we had a lovely day in the snow and fog today. We were trying to find our way through London and...
Ruined it now.
Oh, sorry.
Totally.
I
Totally stuffed it.
Oh, I do beg your pardon.
Oh, you better.
I'm not very good at this live show stuff. I just need to have another 560...
It's all right, I'll teach you.
Yes, please do. Another 556,982 shows, and I might have worked out how to use my mouth engagingly.
As well as the equipment.
I don't know how this equipment works. It's just there for looks. It's all props.
Just having a...
I know now how it works. Gosh, you're such a good seam
That was
mistress.
quite fun, actually.
No, wait a minute. Seamstress. That
I
was
wondered
the word.
what on earth you were trying to say.
Seam teacher. I said seam teacher. I was thinking, what is this?
Is he trying to say headmistress?
I didn't know what it was. Anyway, there are people out there stunned by the aura of...
The idiocy. Idiocy?
Yes, they're going, wow, this show's good. This show has been so good. They've said that we have tuned into another programme ever since the beginning of May. So we have a number of people out there. Of course, we're going to have to go and do the audit in a minute and make sure they're sitting on the right shelves and we haven't sold the wrong person to the wrong country. After all, that's what we do now. We sell our audiences on, If you're not laughing at the appropriate moment, we think we just don't want you. We're going to sell you on.
Yes.
Celeron, we're going to call it. Celeron. You can buy a nice packet of Celeron.
From K-Tel.
From K-Tel. Can't you tell? That's it. Denon. Which is great because they're now making Levi jeans, aren't they? Denim.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, the denim jeans come with a yogurt built in. You put your hand in the pocket and you go, yogurt.
Full of healthy bacteria.
Full of health. Yes, absolutely it is. Denim. Golly. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, enough of this gay banter. Oh no, get you. So, anybody out there? Can we see if there are? Are you in?
Hello? Anybody out there?
We managed to survive last show that we did, which was on the bank holiday Monday, without the bank actually ringing us up. In fact, nobody rang us on Monday.
No.
Not even Sean James Cameron from London. Nobody picked up the phone and dialed 07... Wait. What's the number? It's not there, look.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hang on. I've got to do this from memory now. Can you do it from memory without looking?
Nope. My phone's over there somewhere.
07... Oh, let's see if we can do the number. This is a test. How many times do we say it? It's on the screen in front of us normally, but now it isn't. 0790 4746 740 or something.
Something like that.
It's like
but
that,
not
isn't it?
necessarily
is it
that.
213 744 860 67931 11111. Here we go. Maybe somebody could tell us.
Somebody who already knew that number.
Somebody knows the number.
Oh.
Hello.
Headphones.
Hello, caller. Sorry. Hello, caller. Could you tell us our telephone number, please?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Vobes.
Good evening, Mr. Cragratty.
Mr. Cragratty, we've forgotten what our phone
I
number
can't
is.
remember your number. It's on my...
It's on speed dial.
Excellent.
the memory, so I can't remember it at all.
Oh, that's handy. If there's a 70-something-year-old man who's got a better memory than we have, telling us that he can't remember the phone number.
No, absolutely not.
Well, never mind all that nonsense. It's lovely to have you on the show. I'm just looking to see if I can find the sodding thing. Here it is. There we are. Look, 0793 474679. No, I knew
But don't
that.
bother calling now because we have a caller.
We have it. It'll only be engaged. How are you?
Are we engaged?
We are engaged. Yes.
Oh dear.
That's how it happens. I'm afraid the three of us will have a mange-toi.
I better tell
Or a mange toot.
Or a mange toot.
Mange toot.
I think you can get the doctor can sort that out with some special. He can put us on a special medical board. It bends in the middle.
Oh, the number is 07934746790 because it's on the screen now.
Yes, that's the magic of science. So anyway,
Well, I only phoned up really because you said nobody phoned in. I didn't want you to be lonely.
Well, Julia and I can often. You may have seen us. We sit here with our thumbs twiddling, going, "Nobody has wrung us, nobody at all. We feel so lonely and so small."
Next.
Yeah.
Next. Yeah, thanks for that.
Anyway, how's the lovely Julia?
Not too bad, thank you. I had a lovely weekend with my parents.
Good.
That was grand.
Can you remember their names?
Funny enough, no.
Oh.
Of course I can.
What's your name of your parents, Colonel Cragratty?
Mr. and Mrs. Telling.
I was expecting them to be like, Sergeant Major something or
No,
Rear Admiral.
My dad was Edward, but everybody called him Ted.
Yeah, why do they do that? From Edward to Ted?
I don't know where that comes from.
That's an interesting observation.
And my mother was Vera.
Oh, that's not a name you
Lovely
hear very
name.
often, is it? Vera. There was a singer, wasn't there? Flynn or somebody.
Something like that.
Vera Lynn.
Vera Lynn played
It's
with
probably
Flynn.
Yeah, it was a name of the age, I would imagine, or of the generation.
Yes, Reginald is not a name you hear very frequently, is it?
No, but Reggie's quite common these days.
Reggie.
I know.
A lot of the old names are coming back again, aren't they?
Yeah,
They sort of come around.
But sometimes they're just taking the nickname of the...
Yes, that's
old-fashioned
interesting because when I had a son...
You still have two sons.
I still have them. Bless them. And I love them to bits. That's why I get the chopper out every morning. Anyway, we called him, my ex-wife and I, called him Billy. And everyone said, have you called him Billy because his name's William? They just assumed, oh, I see his full name, William. They said, no, just Billy. And we got quite annoyed when people assumed that it was William. And of course, you would assume that because who would call their child a nickname? But actually, now you said that, Julia. Julia. It is a thing, isn't it? People are doing it.
I mean, there's also Georgie.
Georgie, yeah. Who would call their daughter Georgie instead of Georgina?
How many times has somebody said to you, "Oh, is her full name Georgina?" Then
I hadn't actually thought that.
You hadn't, really?
No. And yet, I like my eldest. So, just for those that don't know, my middle child is Georgie, a daughter, but her name is not Georgina. It is Georgie. We'd like to join. My youngest is Billy, but not William. I didn't realise that trend. Actually, that's
Stanley.
But Stanley is my eldest, and I like him being called Stanley. But he prefers Stan. We should have just called him Stan, and then we would have had a trio of nicknamed children, just to really piss off the bloke who writes the who is it? The registrar.
Registrar.
Yeah, the registrar.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that would have been quite all good. I mean, my good lady wife, Lady Cragratty, her name is Christina. But it gets shortened to Tina.
What are you laughing
about? She doesn't like her names being shortened. I said, well, when I first met you, you introduced yourself as Christina, but you said, all my friends call me Tina, so I call you Tina. Yeah, right. But she doesn't like names being shortened.
So what she didn't tell you, she said, "Oh, Pete, Oh, Pete, my name is Christina. My friends call me Tina. But don't you bloody call me that! She didn't actually tell you that. And so all this time, for 500 years, you've been on your knees appeasing this wonderful woman who makes, by the way, lovely sandwiches. And all this time you've been calling her Tina, and she's been taking it through gritted teeth.
Yeah, well, I couldn't work that one out. That was a bit of female logic. That was to introduce herself with a shortened name, and then immediately tell me she didn't like her names being shortened. So there you go.
All right. So you haven't.
I mean, everybody calls me Pete because I prefer it, but she's the only one that calls me Peter.
Peter. Oh, right. Isn't that funny? Isn't it?
She doesn't like shortening names.
She doesn't like shortening names, but no.
I certainly don't like it.
If I start calling her Christina, she thinks I'm taking the mick.
Yes, it's funny how parents do that though with their kids when they get angry, and the kid is not doing as it's told. Do you suddenly start using its full name?
Yes. Well, our oldest, our daughter, we named Sarah Jane as her name.
Yeah. Sarah Jane. As in the Doctor Who character.
To everybody, she's Sarah Jane.
Yes.
If anybody calls her Sarah,
yes,
my wife Tina, she goes absolutely ballistic.
Does she?
Yeah. Very strange.
Gosh. Yes, I can understand that. If your name is Sarah Jane, you don't want someone coming up to calling you Sarah. But I wonder if they would say, Jane. They probably wouldn't.
It wouldn't even register, would it?
Wouldn't register, would it?
Yeah.
No.
Because that's,
Funny
it's not
that.
my name. We do have some people out there. We ought to call a register, and then we can answer some of these exciting comments, because that's the only way we get through the show.
Make sure you use the right names in the register, and don't you go shortening any.
No, definitely not. We should everyone should change theirs to a nickname, although many people like Flappy Goose have already changed it. But it would be, we should do it one day where everybody has to be, I don't know.
I don't even know how to change the name on
No,
it.
I don't really know how to do it.
I'll have to change my name. That will really confuse it.
Yes, everybody has to be an item that you find on the mantelpiece.
Anyway, I shall let you get on with the show.
Thank you very much. You were the show, Mr. Karagrati. You were the show. Without you, it was nothing. So thank you so much for ringing in.
Okay, mate. Bye.
You take
Bye
care.
for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There with the lovely Pete Telling, otherwise known as
Colonel Karagrati.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will do that thing that we normally do that we haven't done for a couple of days, or we've missed it out last week, and that is... What is it?
The roll call.
Oh, sorry, do it again.
The roll call.
Yes, the register.
Yes, that.
The roll call. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to whiz across to the roll call office?
Do I have to dance over there?
No, you're tired today, aren't you?
I am.
You just stroll over there in an ordinary fashion. I'll do the music.
I'll just meander.
Yes.
I'm going to take a slug first. A slug?
A slug?
A leopard slug.
I got bitten by snails earlier today. I had snail bites all over my hands. And on my head, yes, and on my head. Ladies and gentlemen, no music, no fancy stuff, no thrills in today's show, for it is a duller show. But I will play you a... She's on the phone. I will... Oh, she's getting the chat up. What did you say? Shut up. Oh, sorry, not the chat. The chat. What am I saying? This is over to the roll call. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen.
For what it's worth.
It's worth a lot if I turn the microphone up.
Oh, yeah, it helps if the microphone's up.
Yeah, exactly.
So, on this lovely evening, we have lovely Ernie Samat.
Hey!
He says, "Evening, Richard, pinch punch."
First, last name of the month.
Yes.
Yes.
Budum-tish.
Budum-tish.
Lovely Judith is here with her blue spanner. Hello, folks, she says.
Hello,
Hi,
folks.
Judith.
Hello,
Mwah.
Judith.
Mark Burgess, hello. Did you get here early? Daniel Watkins says, "Evening, everyone." Anna Jones says, "Evening, everyone. White rabbits." What, running late? Probably.
Oh, I see.
Yes, actually, I did notice there was nobody joined the chat until almost the show starting.
Yeah, well, it's a midwake day today. I've got my headphones on again so that I can, look like a What's that thing from Doctor Who had headphones
Cyberman.
on? Yeah, why did they have headphones on? Are they like all members of the sound effects department at the BBC's came out?
It's because some clever costume person decided to put headphones on it to make them look like Cybermen.
I reckon it was just they ran out and they thought, crikey, aren't we supposed to have monsters in this episode? Yes, Cybermen. Oh, God. And they grabbed the sound crew, who all have these DT-100s. Yeah. These are like standard back in the day. And they just sprayed them all in silver and said, you'll do. And that was basically it. So what you see, if any you go back and watch a Doctor Who episode, and there they are holding booms or little portable recorders. Sometimes a Nagra, but usually a Ewer. Nigel Sadler, if he's out there, will know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway.
Station Master's Choice is in the house. Autumnal greetings to one and all. White Rabbits too. Anna Jones. Oh, I've already said Anna Jones. You're the one that said White Rabbits in the first place. Hello, Anna Jones.
Hello, Anna Jones.
Also here is Colonel Cragratty.
He's not here. He's had his phone call. He's off now down the pub with Christine.
And he's going to miss Friday's show because he's going climbing for 3 days in darkest Devon.
Blimey. The lengths people will go to avoid the show.
It's necessary sometimes, I suppose.
Yeah, don't you start getting an idea. Oh, no, you're not in on Fridays anymore, are you?
No, I swapped him for Wednesdays.
Yeah, all right. I'll shut up now.
You better have. John F. is here. Hello. Kerry Baldwin. Hi.
Hello.
Patrick Brooks. Hello.
Hello.
G. Ramps.
Hello. Sorry.
Did you silence yourself for that cough, or did you turn it up to reverb?
No, I just silenced myself. Well, tried to. Of course, they would have heard me very distantly. Yes.
Okay. Audrey Forms Hamilton. Hello. Evening, everyone.
Hello, Audrey.
Elaine Whitelock says, hello, Daniel. Hello, Richard and Julia. And hope leg is easier,
yeah,
Daniel.
My leg is so much easier.
Yes, I hope your leg is better, Daniel.
Yeah, I hope your leg is nice.
You weirdo. That's why we get on, I suppose. Pair of weirdos.
Yeah.
Dave Vivad says, hello.
Hello.
You done?
Yeah.
Cool. Fiona Stutley. Is it Stutley? How do you pronounce that?
I'm not looking at the screen.
I was asking Fiona how she's pronounced that.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Fiona, how do you pronounce
it? Fiona's here.
Fiona.
Paul Cockerell.
Paul Cockerell.
And Sensible Paul. Oh. And Jeff and Mandy are here.
Oh, lovely.
William Burgess. I like the blonde. Huh?
You like the blonde? I like the blonde. What blonde is he talking about?
Flappy Goose is putting the number there.
Yeah.
Also here we have the G Monster. We have, did I say Paul Cockerell? Well, you're getting another saying if I did. Jackie HW, I'm late. Oh, the silly screen has jumped again. It does that. Why does it do that?
I don't know.
I'm late, difficult day and not feeling great, but hope to join in shortly once I've sorted a few things. Okay, Jackie, no worries. We'll see you when you get here.
See you when you get here. It will be so nice.
Alison O'Brien is here. Hopes everyone is well. Michael White, did the fact that people didn't call your son Billy get your goat? It took me a few seconds, but I did get it.
Ha 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 ha. Evil.
Oh dear. Audrey Forbes Hamilton, I think I said you, but I'm saying you again. Someone I know always calls me by my completely the wrong name, but I can't bring myself to tell him as he said it so often.
Oh.
Actually, you just reminded me. My paternal grandmother's name was Maureen.
That's a nice name, Maureen.
It's a lovely name, but everyone called her Babs. I mean, her husband, my granddad, was his name was John, but I never knew him as John. It was Granddad Jack. Everybody called him Jack, but that was apparently a common thing to nickname a John. Why you'd shorten or nickname a John anyway? I mean, John's quite...
Did they call people who were christened Jack John?
I've no idea. It's an oddity of the Brits, I should imagine. There's plenty of those. Val Pragnell is in the house. Evening, Richard and Julia. Looking forward to this evening's show. Hope your throat is better.
Oh, yes. The throat. The throat is... It's the voice. It's the voice, ladies and gentlemen. Not the programme on BBC. I don't know if that's still going because I don't have a television licence. How many times a day can I get that in? I don't have a television... It's a bloody, television detector. By the way, the television detector vans, That was never a thing. It was never a thing. If anybody ever tells you, oh, back in the 70s, the television detector van, they came... They never was a thing. My father, bless his dead soul in wherever he is, probably under the table. I never know. I moved the ashes about. Anyway, my dead father used to make aerials for a living, and he made all sorts of covert aerials, sometimes for the police, sometimes tracking aerials for when you send birds around the rest of the world. He'd make little aerials and things. And he knew a few things about wavelengths and broadcasting and stuff on the technical aspect. And he said there is no way that, certainly not in the 70s and the 80s, when these vehicles would go around with these silly mocked up aerials, that they could tune into your television and know whether it was on or not. Your television was a receiver, not a transmitter. But people fell over and went, oh, they're coming for us. Yeah, we're quick, wifey. Flat 72 in this block of flats. How they could tell, I don't know, from way down there. I can't remember why we got into that.
No, me neither.
Good.
Mr. Mocky is here. Evening all.
Evening.
And Linda Kane says she made it. Just hi all.
Oh, Linda Kane. Let's hear it for the lovely Linda Kane. Thank you, Linda.
William Burgess is here. Oh, I said that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Julia's blonde hair. Oh, my. Oh, yeah, where it's faded out big time. It's because this sees the most water and... Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Station Master's Choice, I've already said you. As Trigger used to say to Rodney. All right, Dave? Anyway, Jen Colley is here. It's been a while since I've seen your name pop up. I get some interesting versions of my name, Gemma... I can't... See, that was a weird version. Genevieve?
Oh, Genevieve is such a lovely name. I really like the name Genevieve.
Me too. Had I had a little girl, that would have been one of my top listers.
But what would be a shortened version? Would you call them Jenny?
Jen. As Jen Colley does.
Yes, that's very true. See, we're allowed to do that. Jen, you wouldn't call it Glenda.
No,
or
it could be
Barbara.
You could of course use the Vive bit for Viv.
Oh, Viv.
That's how I had thought of it, but...
Isn't Viv for...
Vivian.
I was thinking of Vic's cyanide nasal spray.
Of course you would. From K-Tel.
As it happens.
And Jonathan Fox is here. My theory, because everyone had a TV licence, they would simply visit those addresses without one and try their luck.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I mean, they would have had a list, wouldn't they? And they probably still do that. It's probably the only way. And of course, every time you bought a television, you had to tell people where you lived. I don't know whether they still have to do that, but you had to give your address. And you know, like that nice 24-inch colour television there. That's very expensive, £322 there, sir. In used notes, I noticed, sir. Thank you very much. Now, we just have to do this for legal reasons. Could you tell us where you live? Number 10, yes. Downing Street, yes. London, W1A, 1AA. W1A, 1AA. It's the old BBC postcode, wasn't it? Wasn't Downing Street at all. What is the Downing Street postcode? Anybody know? Off the top of you, without looking it up. Please don't look it up. Anyone know off the top of your head? Why have I got my hand in front of your screen like this? I don't know.
Don't know, but you're interrupting the roll call again. I know I'm boring with the roll call.
No, it's not that. It's just every now and again you say something which
triggers something in your head.
Yes,
you're triggered.
Yes, I'm triggered. We could talk about that, but it would be better not.
Yeah, probably not. Also, we have Conehead here.
Conehead.
And Edward Moulding.
Conehead. I wonder if... No.
Rachel T.S. is here. Evening all. Sorry I'm late. Very, very late. Here now. Good. I think that is everyone on the list here. Yep. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show tonight on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The 1st of September.
Yes, it is that pinch punch, don't smack me in the gob kind of a day. The G-Monster there says you do have to give your address unless you buy a supermarket television. Oh, that's better.
Jen Colley says I get called Ginny, which I don't like.
Ginny?
Yeah.
Gin. Yes, that's not to NW1, says Mark Burgess, for number 10 Downing Street. W1A, 1AA. It's funny how these old numbers just stay in your mind. Well, tell me, here's the thing, without looking things up, what other postcodes stick it, apart from your own, obviously, or number sticks in your mind? For example, I always remember the very first car that I ever bought, the number plate of, because it's just so written in. Now, I imagine there'll be some ex-army people, because we tend to have about 4 or 5 platoons of ex-army people from the First World War tuning in. There's usually hundreds of them, you know, those that have yet to obviously pass on. Hundreds and hundreds of some of them from the Boer War, and they all remember their numbers. In fact, only the other day I had an email from somebody who was at the Battle of Trafalgar, and he remembered his number. Factum Lion Totem Polem, that is. Whitehall 1212, says Station. Yes, that's another one. I remember that from the old Norman Wisdom films. Whitehall, my birthday is 11 days' time in September.
Ooh, 12th of September.
I'm glad it's not the 11th of September.
Something to memorise.
Didn't something happen in September 11?
Yes.
So that's a date that you can't forget, isn't it? Imagine being born on that day. London Transport phone number was at 55 Broadway, Abbey 1234.
Station Master's Choice is astonished that he made a quote from Only Fools and Horses and it bombed. Unfortunately, because I probably didn't tell it right.
No, Trigger, as he always used to say, Dave, he would always say to David Jason's character, what was his called? Del Boy, thank you. He would always would always call him Dave. No, Rodney. He would always call Rodney Dave, wasn't it? That was the way round. Oh, I can't remember. It's ages ago since I watched Only Fools and Horses. Colonel Craigrad says Julia is silent. Yes, that's true. I have this habit of forgetting to turn her knob up.
Dave Ivad says the police have arrested 2 teenagers, one for eating fireworks, the other for drinking battery acid. They let one off and charged the other one.
That's interesting, isn't it? My second car, says Colonel Craigrati, was 9046 by, as it was an ex-company car. All usual car numbers had 3 numbers and then 3 letters. Oh, right. All usual car numbers had 3 numbers. Yes, because my first car had NRX 541. And it was a Morris Traveller 1000. And you know, that is a number, NRX 541, that I have used in some of the children's books that I try to write, or any time I want a number plate in a quoted script over the years. I've always gone, I use, because I know it's not in existence anymore, for one thing, and also it's just a number that's in my head, and it's a sort of, well, if I'm writing something, somebody somewhere might go, what a beautiful number. Just a beautiful number that is. NRX 541. I'm going to write a song about that. NRX 541. You never know, somebody might. It would be lovely to see it in a James Bond film. Somebody here, a younger person here, watching this by mistake on a rerun, maybe in a few years' time, a scriptwriter, and this has gone into their head, and there they are writing the 400th film script for somebody who's yet to be born, who will be playing James Bond, astronaut, a man barely alive. I am not a number. The prison, and he will drive an Austin Allegro, no, an Austin 10. What was it he drove? He drove an Austin something or other.
I actually don't know.
It was Martin and Sons, wasn't it? Aston Martin. There we go. He'll be driving an Aston Martin down a mine shaft, and the number will be NRX 541.
Is it Aston or is it Aston?
Ariston.
Aston.
Ariston.
Turbo Stream. Hello, Turbo. Said TOP127N was my dad's Hillman Avenger. Reg number.
Hillman Avenger. Wouldn't you want one of those? Down. Da-da-da-da-dun. I used to love the Avengers. Not that superhero rubbish that they keep playing. Every time someone goes, I hear someone going, oh, did you see the Avengers? And I think, oh, the Avengers, down, da-da-da-da-dun. And no, they're not talking about John Steed and all of that lot. They're talking about some bunch of characters with superpowers, which is all very silly.
Darren Robert Dendy, hello, says, I also had a Del Boy van. Reg JPK 18K. Cool.
Darren Robert Dendy?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Darren Robert Dendy. Yeah.
Yeah, the man who's got 452,000 relatives buried in a churchyard in Itchingfield.
Yeah.
This very same.
The very one.
Yes. What about my bloody front door? Took a quote from that man. My front door. It's hanging off by its hinges. Well, obviously, by its hinges. He said, I'll get you a front door. Don't you worry about that. No worry. Yes. Yes. Might take a couple of weeks. 4 years later. Anyway. It's all right. I'm in no rush to pay him either. Yeah, no, it's nice to see you watching the show, Doran Darrett Dendy. What's his name? Boran Babbitt. What those pills you gave me to drink at the beginning of the show? They
weren't enough of them.
No. What do you mean they weren't enough?
Well, you're still talking, aren't you?
That's true. Yeah, they haven't shut me up yet, have they?
Oh.
The first 3 numbers on the prisoner's car was car. I remember CAR. Oh.
Cool. Do we have any videos?
Yes, we do. Are you bored with all this?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I want to see a video.
Righto. Well, we do have some videos. Sean James London is in Cameron Street. No, Sean James Cameron. I feel like I've been drinking. This is most peculiar.
I have not fed him anything.
No, she hasn't. But this throat thing. Somebody sent me an email. I don't know who it was. I've had a lovely email from Jackie who said that she had a similar cold, or Miles had a similar cold, and this developed into a cold. But somebody else sent me this, and I can't remember. And this isn't meant as an offence at all, because I can't remember who it was. So if it was you, don't take offence. For goodness' sake, don't take offence.
Just don't get offended.
But somebody said...
Take the gate instead.
I had this squeaky voice thing, and then I got COVID. So, that's how it starts.
Well, there is several ways it starts, isn't there? But, yeah.
It always starts at the beginning,
I panic every time I have any kind of remotely cold-like symptoms, and I'm like, oh, but never have it.
And when I get a runny nose, I think, oh no, Tourette's. It's insane. Right, let's go into
in the membrane.
In the membrane.
Membrane.
Who is it? I've got a membrane.
Insane in the membrane.
I got a membrane. You've got to have a membrane.
Uh-huh. Right, video. Craig Ratty just pointed out what I was thinking. How can a door be hanging off its hinges? It must be on its hinges if it's still hanging. If it is off its hinges, it would be on the floor.
Look, he was a draftsman, and he's very technical.
Thanks.
He's a very lovely bloke. But when humour comes into it, don't look at me. Right, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell was I doing?
No, but this is me not looking at you.
Not you, you fatty.
Oh.
Sean James Cameron has been on the London Loop. He is doing the walking the walk, doing the talk. He's got his nice hat on. And he's gone to, I can't read any of that. Scadbury, is it? Scadbury Nature Scabby? I honestly can't read that. Scudbury Nature Reserve. He's in a nature reserve with a very dodgy name. It might
Did you just squish a spider across that or something?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
It does.
Sean, have you had your cup of tea? Have you had your sandwich? If you remember last time, that's what he was up to, and then he's gone to Scudbury Nature Reserve.
Well, I've had a well-earned cup of tea and about a 20-minute rest, but it's time to get back on now. Some very interesting directions coming up for this next little section. So let's start with the London Loop sign, but it's not pointing in the way I'm going to go. But the book actually says this. Slightly bare to the right, and find 2 large conifer trees between 2 shorter trees. Well, it must be this. Then between these shorter trees you will find a gap in the fence, and what I find quite fascinating is I can just about see through these trees a building. And I got a feeling it's the hospital that I went to a couple of months ago when I needed to have my CT scan on my brain. There's a video all about that on this channel. So I got a feeling, and once I go through this little gap in the hedge, we will end up by a hospital. Am I right? Yes, I am right. That is the hospital that I went to. When I came to the hospital all those months ago, I did see this little scrubland, and I wondered what was behind there. And I sort of said to myself, maybe one day I'll come back and I'll see what's behind the bush, but you never do you? Well, that's a bit of a turn up, isn't it? Glad to get out of this subway. I feel trapped. Now I've got to that point of the walk where I've stopped thinking and I'm just following the signs, and there's a sign up there pointing down to the left here. Oh, where are we going now? And now we're back out on the side of the road again. Apparently there's a gate down here on the right hand side. There it is. There's the London Loop sign. And this is Sgadbury Nature Reserve. Let's have a quick look at the sign. Oh, look, what a big place. So we are now crossing the boroughs of Bexley into Bromley. Well, the tree just told me keep to the left, so that's where I'm going to go. Nice oak trees down here. So I've just come out of the dense part of the woodland, and this bit is wonderful. It's peaceful. You can smell the manure, but it's not too strong. The horses are in the field there, having a bit of shadow. Occasionally somebody else will pass you on a bike, and it's just wonderful. I like this section here. I just met a gentleman who told me about a pond. I was hoping it was a pond you could sort of put your feet in. I don't think I'd want to put my feet into this. And this is quite a dangerous pond because of the green algae. If you were a child, you might think that's a bit of grass and run too fast.
Algae. That was the word.
It was the word.
We made a video once.
We made a few videos.
Yes, that's very true, actually. We did. And
but specifically, one where we were looking at... Oh, it was the canal.
The canal. And we were trying to go, there's scum on the top. No, it's not scum. There's bin liners on the top. No, it's not bin liners. There's a shopping trolley. No. And algae was what we were...
That was the word we were looking for.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was wrong because it was actually algae who was in there struggling to swim and he drowned. Thank you very much, Sean James Cameron, for Scudbury. Strange old name that is. That's where the old former Scud missiles once landed, and they've grown now and they're much more friendly. So that was interesting. Can't wait for the next one. David Vad had a very interesting number. I noticed he had there Snod 1, ladies and gentlemen. Snod 1. And I thought, I wonder where that comes from. And it just reminded me of a book I was reading fairly recently. I don't know if you can see that one. Escape from Snod Hill, with a number plate that Snod 1 on it. Very interesting book. Is he dead? Geoffrey asked. He can't be dead. He's still breathing, Wally replied. He's not very well, that's for sure. I do wish the ambulance would hurry up, Deirdre Dimple said, looking at her watch. It's been 20 minutes since they'd found the phone box and dialed 999. Oh, rip-roaring adventure of Wally and Geoffrey and Deirdre Dimple, who escaped from Snodhill School, and, well, orphanage actually, and head down from Snodhill to Lyme Regis.
Cool.
Available from KTEL.
But
actually, it's not available. I never got it printed up. It's a lovely book. Right? That was the last. I've got several of them.
Mm-hmm. Starsby has arrived. Evening all. I got sidetracked.
Oh.
I will let you off.
Sidetrack. Wait, you can't just let them off willy-nilly, you know. We want to know what the side you got off on.
What siding was it?
Yes. The doors will now open.
Sean Buttermer has arrived as well. Evening all.
Evening, Sean. Sorry, just poking my eye out there. I've got to do the scrolly down the bottom. Yeah, thanks very much.
Yes.
Which is very nice. I wonder who wrote that book, says Colonel Craig Ratty. Yes, I missed the name of it. I never look at the author's name. It's an anagram of Cadbury's, says Dave Ivad, wondering what the hell he is talking about.
Scudbury.
Oh, Scudbury. Oh, is it? It's an anagram of Cadbury's. Oh, yes. Enough said.
There's not enough U's. And there's an unneeded A.
You're doing... This is the anagram queen you're talking here.
Not really, but...
Don't you do those...
See it. I'm looking at the words.
And books of those...
Oh, no, that's Sudoku.
Oh,
which is numbers.
Oh, that's numbers.
Numbers.
Oh, that's Sudoku.
Sudoku.
Yeah. Is that the Chinese
I don't know
thing?
if that's how you actually pronounce it. It's pronounced spelled S-U-D-O-K-U.
Ku?
K-U.
Ku? No, no Ku. And what is Sudoku about? It's like a lot
You've got a grid of 9 by 9 squares.
Yeah.
So each one... You have to fill each line and each column...
With another number?
With the numbers 1 to 9 in,
1 to 9?
Not repeated, yeah.
That probably take 10 minutes to do 1 to 9?
The easiest way to know... Scadbury. I thought it was Scudbury. No, it's Scadbury. Yeah. Oh, he's right and I'm wrong. That's not unusual.
It's not unusual for Vobes to be very wrong. No. Anyway.
Yeah, it's plain and simple right there as well.
It's plain and simple.
It's really plain and simple.
Meaningless
I'm
chocolate.
tired. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it.
Anagrams, says Sean Butterman.
Anagrams.
A local, a popular local band here years ago were called the Cupid Stunts.
Yep, I like it.
Imagine saying that wrong on a Monday afternoon.
Try saying that when you're tiddly.
Hey, the Cupid Stunts, the Cupid Stunts, the Cupid Stunts.
We've had a few people commenting that they've only just got the notification through for the show.
Yeah.
So did we.
We got the notification at 20:39. Thank you very much, YouTube. You know, on my little phone. Hello. What are you doing down there? I'm unreachable. Yes. No, we got the notification just at the end of Sean's thing. Video suddenly went ping, and I said, "Is that my phone?" Because nobody pings me on my phone. I don't know anybody, and it was the notification for the show.
And then I looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got one too."
So I think YouTube are a little inundated with other technical stuffs going on there, which can happen. Isn't that a Kenny Edward character? Says yeah. Oh, and Tracy Murphy's just had it as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just arrived, you're late. But it's not your fault. We understand. If you want to... I got mine at 10 to 8, says John F.
Yeah. Cool, blummy.
God loves some people more than others. Or YouTube has a preference.
That's very strange. Very strange.
Time for another?
Yeah.
All right, then. On our list of hyperbole, we have more exciting things. And now it's time for Jackie H.W. to roll up with the roll of film and tell us all about it. Oh, no, she's just sent it in. So, yeah, no, Jackie HQ is HW. HQ, I keep saying HQ, don't I?
You do?
Yes, because I always think of where she lives in...
Headquarters?
Not Thurrock. What is the name of the town, the little village that she lives in? It's a lovely little village. Where
I know.
Not Sean, the lovely lady who's got the long hair, who's also, I can't...
Cynthia Julian.
Julian lives in, not Thurrock. Why do I keep saying
I don't know,
Thurrock?
but stop. I'm trying
it's like a th sound.
So it's...
Thursday, Thursday. It's on the way to West Chiltington. Where the hell is it? It's that lovely little village.
There's just buzzing going on in my ears.
Near Ashington and across from... Anyway, we are living in a parallel dimension. Today, it's all gone haywire. Thurrock. No, it's not Thurrock.
Just shush! Don't say it anymore.
It's a lovely thrush.
No.
Thrushland.
No.
Where the... Jackie HQ. W. Yeah, where the hell is it you live again? What's the name of the lovely village? Just got the notification. Thacum. Nothing like
you,
Thurrock.
Elaine.
But I need to...
God blimey.
Careful, Richard. She says Thacum. Yes, Thacum. Thacum. They don't bake 'em. They Thacum. It's a lovely... Yes, no, it's a lovely village.
Took you long enough to put us out of our misery. Oh,
yes,
my
thank
God.
you very much. I'm not a pleasant plucker. I'm a pleasant plucker's son. I'm
Careful.
only plucking pleasants till the pleasant plucker comes. What a pleasant plucker he is. Oh, dear.
Steady.
I'm glad he isn't a pheasant. Oh, wait, it's a pheasant. I said pleasant. I said pleasant, didn't I? It's a pheasant plucker. A pheasant plucker, son, plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. Whew, we nearly got took off there. Anyway,
waiting for you to
over
go
to
wrong
Thacum now. Not Thurrock. Don't go to the Blue Quadrangle washing up shopping centre, whatever they called. Is it the Blue Quadrant? Washing up at Thurrock, Lakeside. Funny how I remember it right at the end. Anyway, none of this is making any sense.
No.
Jackie HW is waiting. This is on her way. This is called The Way...
What have you done?
I don't know, it just suddenly moved. It just moved on its own. That was very weird. I was about to press the button. The whole unit just moved like that on its own.
Got a poltergeist.
I thought I was drawing it along with a cable. No, it just moved. Or is it just collapsed? Oh, it's collapsed.
I think it's collapsed.
There we go. It's just a piece of apparatus where it and you don't need to know this.
No.
But it was most spooky. I went to press it and the whole thing, just before I got there, went, ooh. Like this is like, ooh. Anyway.
Strange. Never done that before.
Never done that before.
Anyway, Jackie HW, The Way Home.
And thank you for watching. And thank you for sending it in. Marvellous, wasn't it? Lovely, nice, stirring.
Absolutely beautiful video.
Beautiful scenery. Thank you very much.
Fantastic trees.
I know that Jackie
and
HW.
Sky, the dog.
Yeah, absolutely lovely to see Sky. Lovely. I've met Sky in person.
So have I.
Oh yes, of course you have. Yes, of course I was trying to get one up on you then.
Yeah.
Failed miserably. What?
You didn't.
Did you just call me a puff?
No.
I thought you said puff.
Puff. No, I said tough.
I always put my feet on the poof if I'm round a house and somebody's got. Actually, I do need to get a. What do you call it? A puffet.
A poof. I call it a poof.
Poof. Poof. Have you got a poof at home? Everybody needs a poof. A very nice poof.
Or a footrest.
Or a footrest. Yes. I was only the other day thinking I need to get myself a jolly good poof or footrest. At home to rest my feet on. I rest my case. Because sometimes I'm relaxing in my adequate chair and I need to rest my feet up rather than just have them bent at the knees or crossed. Because if you cross your...
It's not good for your circulation to cross your ankles.
No. I crossed my heart Playtex bra once. That was painful, especially when it pinged. But yes, you don't want to cut the circulation. I knew a bloke once who did that and both legs dropped off after 30 years of doing it. Sorry, that's what it says on this. It's all lies, ladies and gentlemen. It's all lies. I don't know why we adhere to this nonsense.
Jackie HW says, you've met her twice, Richard. Sorry, Julia. Yes, but I had a cuddle. Didn't I?
Probably.
What was that, Jazz?
Yes, I've met her twice. Almost 3 times, because one time she had her head out of a car door as it came hurtling to my house, and Jackie came rushing through with curtains, and she said, "This is curtains for you, Vobes. We've had enough of this." But the dog refused to get out and bite my ears off, so I was salvaged for another day.
Mark Burgess says, "Pouffet, pouffet."
Buffet or not a buffet? That is the question.
Flappy Goose says, I have a recliner that I get stuck in. Yeah, that's actually quite easily done.
Michael White says, I had a poof, but now it identifies as a chair. And Jeff and Mandy got notified 15 minutes ago about the show, which is about right, because that's about the same sort of time that we got notified.
Yes, very strange.
And Jackie says, my mum had a buffet. So it's clearly is it a French word, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
I guess the Normans brought it over, did they, when they stuck an eye in Harold's arrow? They said, take that, you. And as he fell to the ground, they said, yeah, rest your head on this buffet. Down.
Okay, that's right, sir.
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric's great, rather good, quite good, marvellous, sensational grandfather. Actually, I missed one out. Great, rather good, splendid, bit of a disappointment, grandfather. And it was from the disappointment line that poor old Eric is up there today. Isn't that right, Eric?
That's right, sir. Such a disappointment, sir.
So true.
Bless him.
Fiona Stutely says, my dad Trevor Upton is a fan of your impressions, Richard, especially not messing about.
Oh, now you got him started.
The Kenneth Williams. Of course, they all laughed, didn't they? I used to like Kenneth Williams. I thought it was very insightful man.
Now do Kenneth Connor.
Oh, Kenneth Connor. I can't do Kenneth Connor because he was great. But in Carry On Sergeant, there's a bit where Dora Bryan, a famous actress of great note and hilariousness, is in a canteen, and Kenneth Connor is a private conscript in a battalion preparing, I suppose, for war, during the war or whatever, and he's been called up, and he's been a hypochondriac for ages, and then all of a sudden something happens, won't go into the whole script, and he sees Dora Bryan, whose character is Nora, and goes, oh, Nora. But I wish I could do. He is a brilliant. He was. I don't know if he's still with us. Kenneth Connor. He was a brilliant actor. Timing. His timing was perfect.
I think he was one of my favourites.
Dora Bryan lived in Brighton. Oh, how brilliant! I loved Dora. She wasn't in many films that I managed to see at the time. What time? Well, when I was watching them. But she's one of those characters. She was a character actress, if I can say it.
Actress.
Like the other one. The other one who's anytime you're watching one of these old black and white films, and she comes in, and you go, "Oh yes." What's her name?
Hattie?
No, Hattie Jake. Yes,
I love her.
I'm talking about the landlady in Tony Hancock's The Sandwich Man. What was her name?
I don't know. But Paul Cockerell says Dora Bryan owned the hotel they used in Carry On Girls.
Did they?
Apparently so.
Gosh. I didn't really like the latter carry-ons. I thought they lost the innocence. They became too obvious, really. No, not Barb. Irene Handel! Oh, Irene Handel, David Vad. He knows my soul. We have the same blood. As soon as Irene Handel opens her mouth, she is hilarious. She's the most funny, one of the most funniest lady character actresses that ever lived. Different.
I don't know.
I know you've only just discovered Hattie Jakes, and Hattie Jakes was brilliant.
Yeah. Because before the Wiltshire trip, I'd never actually seen a Carry On film all the way through. I'd seen snippets and clips and bits and bobs and stuff like that. So I've only watched 3 of them now all the way through. What did we start
only
with?
Watched 3. I was to sit you down and take you through the streets of London.
Okay, but I discovered that I like Kenneth Connor.
Kenneth Connor, yeah.
But I love Hattie Jakes.
Hattie Jakes.
Jakes.
Yes.
And I can't say her name.
Hattie Jakes. No, she is astoundingly brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. She was also great in Metal Mickey, says Ernie Samet. Who are we talking about now? Irene Handel. Peggy Mount, yes. Now, Peggy Mount was... I wish she hadn't done as much stage work. I wish she'd done more films. This is the trouble. Some of these wonderful actors and actresses, they did a lot of stage work, and then you see them in films, and you just go, oh, but you're just a joy. Peggy Mount, that film... What was the name of that film? I tell you what it's called. Hang on a minute. The Naked Truth. Have you seen... Now, most people are going, what are you talking about? The Naked Truth, with Terry Thomas, Peter Sellers, Peggy Mount, Joan Sims, and a few others. They were the main cast. And Peggy Mount is the woman who's this authoress. Oh, it's such a brilliant film. The English... Look, you've got me all excited now. The English comedy film era of the 50s and 60s just was the best time if you're an old fart like me. Peggy Mount is an author, quite famous author, and she's got, I can't remember who Joan Sims is, a daughter or a relation or something. And this is when Joan Sims was younger, much younger. And the guy in the Naked... Anyone ever talking to know about the Naked Truth? What was his name? The guy... The plot of this is that this chap runs a magazine called The Naked Truth, and it comes out and it tells you the absolute slanderous truth of famous people. And he goes to those famous people and he says, here's a next issue of the magazine and you're the feature. And they go, oh, yeah, nice. Actually, Kenneth Williams wasn't in it. Terry Thomas was in it. I say, this is the sort of magazine I read. Yes. Oh, what? Oh, yes. Mark, what? Just a minute. I said, you cad. You can't print this. This is all about me. You can't print this. And he goes, so he said, no. And so, of course, that's blackmail. So he says, well, I won't print it if you pay X amount of pounds. Otherwise, we go to the press. What was his name? Price. Was it Jonathan Price? Jonathan Price was the guy. Anyway, so Peggy Mount in this film and Joan Sims thinks the only way out is to kill him, is to knock him off. And so they plan this murder from one of her books, and it's just, I mean, it's hilarious. And things get Dennis Price, yes, Dennis Price, not Jonathan Price, Dennis Price. Oh, now that's the film I need to show you, The Naked Truth. Oh dear, oh dear. They don't make them like that anymore. A golden era of light entertainment. You're absolutely right. And there was just something about the innocence and the... I mean, I'd say innocence, but there was just something about the restrictions on the things that you could do and say and the way they did it. And that, I don't know whether it's because it was in black and white as well. I don't know. But there was something that, by golly, although I didn't live in the 50s and I was only a kid in the 60s, I so buy into it. Poor old Julia sitting there. Yeah, it's like, what? I don't understand the enthusiasm.
I wish I could partake in the conversation, but alas, I cannot.
I know. It's very unfair. It's very unfair.
No. It's your show, man. It's your show, man.
No. You're very much part of the show. Don't be like that. It's just very difficult because obviously I'd have a shared certain thing with some of the audience. Yes. Yeah, that was.
People don't seem to mind me sitting there going,
No, it was just Julia looks riveted, says Elaine. I know, I appreciate that. We will move on.
Sorry.
Kerry Baldwin says they don't make actors like that. That's so true. There was something very quintessential. I was going to say quintessentially English, but maybe British, because you had people like, who you didn't really get on with, Alistair Sim.
I think that's only because I'd heard you read the book before I saw the...
Oh yeah, London Belongs to Me. Yeah, so we read this book.
And I had something different in my head.
Alistair Sim. I mean, there's...
all the other characters kind of...
Margaret Rutherford, Alistair Sim. I mean,
And I don't recall any other film I've seen him in. Having seen him in any other film.
Oh, Green Light for Danger, I think. Is it Green Light for Danger is another Alistair Sim. He was in all the St. Trinians, the original St. Trinians. But he was the... what was the name of the woman the headmistress of the St. Trinian School for Girls in that? He was all of that. Yes, we end up going. Passport Papilla, The Mouse That Roared, all great films, says Station Master's Choice. Absolutely. Will Hay was another one from the... I'm
just picking my nose with the yellow...
Oh, you're picking your nose with the yellow arrow? That's nice.
You've moved it.
When are the book readings restarting, says TurboStream. Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I need to have a word with myself and I will think about it. School for Scoundrels. Oh, yes. He was another one, wasn't he? Ian Carmichael. Ian Carmichael. He was like Jim Dale. He was another of those sort of... Jim Dale a bit later. Another of those classic actors that just turned up in things. Oh, but there's a TV channel called Talking Pictures that shows lots of old films, says Judith. Don't tell me that. I'll be riveted to it. Riveted.
Well, before seeing Carry On Cabby, I'd only ever seen Jim Dale in Pete's Dragon, which was one of those formative films of my childhood.
Yes, you see, that's your... So you do a lot of Disney films, and you know a lot of the Disney films, and you can be very excited.
I grew up in the 80s, 90s sort of...
era.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and of course, I haven't seen... I mean, I watched them when perhaps with the kids.
We have ways of making you watch.
So it's a tit for tat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll show
Tallied
you...
3 now.
See, I don't know what the next Carry On... So we watched... Here's this thing. We were in Wiltshire. Julia watched Carry On Cabby, which is a brilliant film. Yeah. Carry On Sergeant, which was the very first Carry On, which they didn't know was going to be a chain or a franchise, I think they call them now. A franchise of films. It was just a story by D.F. Delderfield, in actual fact. And Delderfield, I think that's how you... Or is it R.F. Delderfield?
No idea.
He who wrote his famous book, Delderfield's famous book, of course, being something all my years, all my days. What was it? Where he's a teacher in the remote part of Dartmoor or something. To love him all my days, to something all my days. Anyway, I read that. Which was he wrote sagas. Anyway, he wrote this thing, Carry On Sergeant. Wasn't Jim Dale an actor in Neighbours?
Don't know.
No, I don't think so.
The G-Monster says Jim Dale was a pop star in the 1960s.
Yes.
Well, actually, so was the lead female from Pete's Dragon.
Ah.
And what was her name, though? She was the...
Servant.
I am woman.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, say
She sang I Am Woman.
I Am Woman.
Miriam. Helen Reddy.
Helen Reddy. Helen Reddy. Go.
Yeah, Doctor Who was in Carry On Sergeant, yes. Specifically
Doctor Who,
the
yes.
first
William
Doctor
Hartnell.
Who, yes.
Yes, he was. And he was in No More, which is probably a good thing.
Oh, there was a Jim Dale in Early Neighbours.
Oh, was there? That wouldn't have been that Jim Dale.
I don't remember.
He's not Australian, I don't think. Anyway,
No,
as
I
you
think
say,
he
he was is he?
Isn't he? I don't know.
There was a Jim Dale in Early Neighbours. Is that when? What was his name? You know, the curly-haired bloke whose grandfather was Ramsay, what Ramsay Street was named after, and dressed up, and he went to the wedding. They got rid of him, didn't they? I can't remember his name now. It was the only reason.
Jason Donovan?
No, before then.
That.
Right at the beginning. There was what's his sodding name? Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Harold Bishop. No, before Harold Bishop. Before all of that lot.
Jim Robinson.
No, not Jim Robinson.
Allendale,
no. Never mind. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it was all good fun. Yeah, so anyway, my point was I was trying to get to Max, his name was Max. It just came to me. Max Ramsey. His grandfather had Ramsey. Anyway, that's that. Got that out. That's another tick. So, Carry On Cabby, brilliant film. We said that. Carry On Sergeant. Then we watched Carry On Nurse, which was the second one of it was the third of the Carry On films, the third made.
Which is funny because it was the third one I've seen.
And it was the third one you've seen.
And it was quite dull.
And it was very dull. It was very slow. The characters, Charles Hawtrey was in it. There was so much they could have done with it. Then, of course, they did go Carry On Again Nurse and Carry On Matron, Carry On Doctor, and various hospital ones. Wensleydale. Yeah, that was a good one. So the next one, Carry On Teacher is quite good. Carry On Regardless is great fun. Carry On Spying. These are all the black and white ones.
Just a quick one. Jonathan Fox says, for someone who doesn't have a TV licence, you are very knowledgeable about films, Richard. You'd better look out the window for the detective van.
No, I told you at the beginning of the show. They all those aerials, there's no such thing.
I cannot believe that Richard watched Neighbours, says Linda Kane.
No, I did. I lived in Harrow. When I lived in Harrow and was at mime school, I watched a bit of Neighbours. It was 15 minutes, I think. It was only on for 15 minutes a day. It was a ridiculous thing. Paul Cockrell's quite right. The actor who played Max had an unhappy ending. He threw himself out of a building. I know, it's quite a shocker. He was quite a big bloke with big curly hair. Carry On Sergeant, that was the first film. Carry On at Your Convenience, that's in colour and was later on. It was okay. That started, to me, to be honest, that's the era of where it just got smutty for the sake of being smutty. They were much cleverer in the earlier ones. Carry On Camping, yes and no. That's, again, just because Barbara Windsor got her baps out in that one. Because it starts where they're in the cinema, aren't they, watching Nudist Camp. Carry On Screaming, I think, was the pinnacle of it, and then thereafter, and everybody was great. Fenella Fielding was fantastic.
That's a strange name.
Fenella Fielding was great. Carry On Up the Khyber, that was another good one, and particularly the scene at the end where the British are having the meal, and the place is being bombed, and they're all in there, and the ceiling is falling down, and Bernard Cribbins is there. Is Bernard Cribbins in that one? Roy Castle's in that one, and Sid James is there, and they're all got their pith helmets on, and the place is, and it's hilarious. You've missed out on British culture. And the funny thing is, I watched this programme about the Carry On films. This is marginally interesting, or it was a radio programme. And what's fascinating? Sorry, I'll let you speak in a minute. What's fascinating about the Carry On films is, while it is comedy and some of it is quite base, it's actually a very interesting snapshot of principally English people in England at those periods of time and the way they sort of lived their lives with the
types of, well, the sense of humour, how far you can push it.
Well, the
like
sense of humour, but more the way that what we thought, you know, the carry on cruising when package holidays became the thing, and it took the piss out of a number of institutions that we looked at or took for granted, and it you know, going places on a bus, the mundane and things like that. There was just something about that sense of humour that you could not be made by Americans or Australians or anywhere else in the world. It could only be made by English, principally for an English audience, because they would get it.
British prudishness.
Yeah. I don't. Yes, it showed. It's so hard to put it into words. Somebody else put it so very well. Phil Silvers, he was in Carry On Up the Khyber, wasn't he? He had a sad life, rewatching his own shows on a loop. Yes. Well, it's always a bit sad. I mean, that's the thing. Anyway, enough of all this. We've got 2
more videos.
2 more videos to watch before the end of. And it's amazing now. It's 9:15. We were only looking at the clock thinking, blimey, we haven't gone very long. A wet bank holiday and a carry-on film was my childhood memories, says Turbo Stream. Absolutely. And Dean Cooper said, my brother met Hattie Jakes.
Nice.
Brilliant. Well done. It's a shame it wasn't you, though, Dean. We want to ask you a favour, actually, Dean. With your
royal we again.
Yes, with your lorry. We've got a favour to ask with your lorry. I want to get one shot in your lorry when it's empty. Can't say any more than that publicly. It's for a video I'm making. Just one shot when your lorry is empty. Can we do it? It'll take 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
So which lovely video are we going to have next? We have Bernie with Scott's Float Service? Sluice.
There's only one man who would dare to go to a sluice with his camera, and we know who it is. It's good old Bernie, station master's choice, carrying on with his investigation, and he's got as far as Scott's Float Sluice. Ready for it?
Ready.
Well, we're here at Scott's Float Sluice. And much changed over the years. But this is the point at which, if you're boating down the Rother, you can't get any further. Looks like the gates are open this morning. As you can see, there's a definite flow out of the Rother and into the other side, so it must be low tide. Unfortunately, you see, because of these big sluice gates, and you see they're up now, right at their highest level. If they were lower, we could probably get up there and see. I'm going to lift. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that the river is definitely low tide. And so what's happening now is the gates are open and they're letting the water and the flood waters out of the Rother to float down the last bit of the river and out to sea, and so hopefully take the flood waters away from the low-lying areas behind me. This sluice has been here since the 15th, 16th centuries in one form or another. At one time it was also known as the Star Lock, and there would have been a lock here to one side, and that is where the sailing barges, the little Rye sailing barges, would have been allowed to pass. And I'm guessing maybe, although this is obviously modern work here, maybe this side would have been the side where you could take your boat through and go down into Rye, but not anymore. That's definitely finished now. But you can see how much rain we've had and just how much water is flowing out of the Rother. Well, it's not actually out of the Rother, it is the Rother. Shall we say flowing out of the freshwater side into the seawater side of it, brackish. When the tide begins to come in, looks like they're opening the gates even more. Let's go and have a look. Yep, that gate's come up right the way now.
I saw a CCTV camera, and I reckon someone was watching you there, Bernie, and went, let's surprise him a bit. Ooh.
Pleasure. Another lovely educational video from our good old Bernie.
Yeah, thanks, Bernie. That was fascinating. And of course, that zoom of yours...
It just goes on and on and on. Quick question. Does that lens have its own tripod with wheels on it that you drag it around?
I think it's a drone. I think it's a drone that's attached to his camera, and it goes... and it just flies. It just zooms forever.
It's really impressive.
We love that zoom. You're going to have to tell us. You're going to have to reveal what the camera is. It's only a 5.
I'm sure he's probably told us before.
He's probably told us before, but I want that zoom. I want to be able to zoom in that far. There's quite a few naughty ladies in China that I wanted to see if I could...
Richard, stop lowering the tone.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of Chinese people who make these lenses. That's what I meant. There's some nice... They're naughty because they would
Stop digging a hole. Do you want the JCB key?
No, I'm quite capable of digging my own hole. Thank
Excellent.
you very much. Let's have some bubbles. Oh, fresh air that was.
Bubbles in the face. That's my superpower.
Yes.
Bubbles in the face.
You see, who needs the Avengers anymore?
Yeah,
Great.
I've got that.
I've actually done a video of the secrets of the Zoom. Maybe I'll send it in one day. You must. The secrets of the Zoom. What was that for?
Taking a photo of me with a look,
oh yeah.
Yellow.
Show the audience.
The yellow cursor on my head. Hang on. Focus.
No,
Focus.
No, that camera is not on autofocus. It's on fixed focus.
Oh, yeah,
this one. On the
this
other
one,
hand,
however.
Yes, that one.
Is.
There we go. Oh, it just went darker then for some... There we are. Look, there's the camera lens. And there is the Julia.
With a yellow cursor on my head.
Hey, do you think we could just stick pictures of us up and put old shows on and anyone would notice?
Anyway,
enough of this nonsense. Yeah, thanks, Bernie. Look forward to the... Oh,
hey,
we have a
call.
caller on
Woo-hoo.
the phone.
Hey.
Let's find out who that is. Can you imagine people... Oops.
Just bash the mic. It's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, I will.
No one's ears is going to get damaged by that.
No one's ears have been damaged. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the show.
London calling.
Hey, sure.
Worthing here, Worthing receiving. Come in, please, come in.
I've been watching on the big TV, so I can't see the comments, but I remember I spent an evening with Barbara Windsor once.
Ooh, very nice.
And she was telling me that she'd been given the script for Carry On Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the last one.
Yes, I
the
bet
last
it was
film
awful.
ever. And she thought it was so awful, she went out, bought a bottle of champagne, and just got drunk. And she never did it.
And she never did it. No, quite right too. I think, what's his name? Jeremy Clary? What's his name? Somebody Clary? What was his name?
Julian. Was in it. Bernard Cribbins was in it. Maureen Lipton.
Maureen Lipton. I mean, it's just the wrong era. I mean, they all died, hadn't they? What was his name? Not Ian Clary. What was his name?
Julian Clary.
Julian Clary.
I was going to say, I can only think of Julian.
Yeah, that was the one.
But nobody heard me say it.
Oh, sorry.
You were too busy trying. You shut up. I might be able to tell you.
Yes, that's true.
I think the problem was because people knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Whereas they were golden when you didn't really know that the joke was coming. Because I always thought, why didn't they do one based around gardening or based on an allotment site? And she said because the jokes would be just too obvious. Oh, look at that pair! Look at the size of your marrow.
Yes.
And the trick was you didn't really know when something was coming.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were crafted, and what is amazing is they were filmed so quickly, almost one take.
Well, in America, because I was watching a show over Christmas, one of these afternoon things. It isn't a film, but it's not a comedy. It's just like an hour and a half film. And a friend of mine popped up in it. So I phoned him to say, "Oh, you're on the TV," and he's like, "Oh, well, which one is that?" Because they do so many of them there, whereas in this country we don't seem to have that anymore. The afternoon's just full of quiz shows.
Yes, yeah, we don't. I mean, in the old days, always used to be an afternoon film, and Irene Handel would turn up, and all these wonderful people.
I am a little bit green with envy that you've met Barbara Windsor. I'd have loved to have met her, but I have performed in a theatre that she's performed in. Part of the oh no, wait! I think I was thinking of Twiggy.
Twiggy?
Yeah, from The Girlfriend. No, wait.
Twiggy was a...
The film called The Girlfriend was partially filmed at the New Theatre Royal in Portsmouth, I'm led to believe. Which then later, everything behind the safety curtain on the stage was burnt down. So I've actually only performed in what's left of it.
I remember we were at the... what's the name of the one now? The UK equivalent to the Oscars.
BAFTAs?
Yes. We were at the BAFTAs and we were waiting for her husband to come out of the toilet. So we were having a chat and they came around with the champagne. So I said, "Oh, do you want a glass of champagne?" And she said, "No, we don't drink. We gave it up about 6 years ago." And she said, "It's fantastic, darling, because we wake up into the morning and we're the only ones that can remember all who are the gossip and who are the antics."
Yeah, I can imagine. Absolutely. People get so drunk. I mean, I think that's true of everything, isn't it?
Well, the trick is to have the one glass
and make it last
the whole night.
Yeah.
which is the trick that I had to do because I get drunk very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I say we because Julia and I did a show not so long ago where we shared a drink and.
Got a little bit tipsy.
What are you doing?
I was just looking for... Oh, she was in it. Barbara Windsor. And it wasn't the girlfriend. It was the boyfriend. Yeah, David Vad's correct. Again.
Not the boyfriend, yeah, the girlfriend. The one that's identifies this
week. It's just me just stuffing up every little scrap of remotely interesting information I've ever had. I'm tired.
The other trick is stand by the door where the food starts to come out. And then you get the food first.
Yeah, that's a good trick. If ever you're at the BAFTAs, stay by. Yeah, the chances of me ever being at the BAFTAs for anything other than hoovering the carpet.
There's a bit where they're given the award, and they're taken backstage to the press room. So the press room, everybody is just stood there, and like if Barbara Windsor came in, everybody would put their hands up, come over and have a chat to me. And
really?
Somebody came in, and unfortunately, they brought the celebrity with them. So they brought this person in and said, "Does anybody want to interview this ballerina?" and nobody. And I felt so sorry for this girl. I said, "Oh, I want her. I desperately want to talk to her." And then I thought, "What the hell am I going to ask her?"
Who are you?
So I did that.
Question number one.
How did you approach the performance?
Yeah. How did you say?
And I didn't actually bother to press the record button.
Oh,
but I just felt so sorry for her.
Yeah, and you didn't even press the record button. You mean?
No, I was stood there and I was thinking to myself, please don't go on standby because the lens will close and she will realise that I'm not actually filming her.
That's so mean. That's so mean. It is a cutthroat.
No, it was kind actually.
Well, it was kind of mean.
But you just sort of think those afternoon plays and the children, what was it called? The Children's Film School, the National Children's Film School.
The Children's Film Foundation.
Yeah, that's gone.
It's all gone.
It's like, it must be really hard for actors these days to start up. Because you haven't got things like, why don't you? Because a lot of actors started on that in the mornings.
We used to, we used to have the bill, didn't we? And every actor was anybody, and anybody who wasn't even an actor was dragged in to be on the bill. I
saw a TV show, you wouldn't have seen this, although I think you still had your licence at this point. It was called The Syndicate, and it was on BBC One, and they had a YouTuber in it. So I decided to tune in to watch it. And it was written by Kay Mellor, who is a renowned writer. I just thought it was the most awful thing that I've ever seen on TV.
Going back to that ballerina, was it Darcy Bustle, did you say? We couldn't remember.
It might have been, because I think it was before she became mainstream famous, you know.
And then she was able to spit at all those people and say, well, you were the only one, darling, who bothered to interview me, and now I'd love to see the tape.
I love her.
Because I do remember when you interviewed me, darling, it was incredible that you could get me with the lens cap on.
I'll dig out the tape somewhere.
Anyway, Sean, it's we're coming to the end of the show. We'll have to do your walking about in Westminster on another occasion, but thank you for sending that in.
Oh, well, I just sent that in case you were
short.
Desperado.
Spare one in the can. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Take care. Look after you.
All the best. Bye for now.
Thanks for calling. Bye.
Bye. There we are, Sean James Cameron with Showbiz Goss. We always like a bit of Showbiz Goss from Sean.
Lots of name dropping there.
Yes, we'll have to go and pick them up afterwards, otherwise when we sweep the floor it'll be terrible.
It'll clatter about and make an awful din.
Yes, especially somebody called, and he can't think of a name that sounds like gong or clatterbang. John Clatterbang, did we mention him? Yeah, he's an international famous...
Wendy Wallop.
Wendy Wallop. She's a trollop. Anyway, one of the Trollope families, of course, you know who I'm talking about, the writers, Joanna Trollope and her great-uncle or great-granddad, the famous Trollope, who wrote all those novels in the Victorian period, who was a postmaster. How he managed to get all his work done. Anthony Trollope, thank you. Nobody said it, I just made it. No, I didn't make it up, it's true. Anthony Trollope
I know,
is
but
famous...
yeah.
Anyway, none of this. Corrie and Emmerdale are going online only. Are they? Not surprised. Blimey. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. The fourth film that we had was Sean James Cameron Walks About Westminster, but we'll save that for the Friday show because I feel I might need it. I will not have the lovely Julia with me on that particular occasion. She has a family and other things to do, which keeps her very busy most of the time. We have the penultimate Wiltshire video will be going out tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening. Hope you've enjoyed these Wiltshire videos. They've taken a bit of extra work to make them zingy. No, we had a fantastic time doing them. So far, I think most people have enjoyed them.
Hope so.
After that, we have one bank holiday video that we made where we go into Hampshire and look at Holywell Park or something.
Holly Hill
Park. I know Colonel Cragratty will be so thrilled. And also Warsash Common, looking at some exciting stuff. There's even a drone shot in it. By God.
That was fun.
Yes. After that, who knows? I may be back on the Sussex border path looking, or the border walk, doing those. So we're going to get through all of those, and we may go back to some dailies, and we may go back to some once a year or something. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Take care. Look after yourselves. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Judith, for being out there moderating.
Thank you.
Thanks to Sean, to Bernie, to Jackie HW for the videos, and to you.
All of you.
For
viewers,
coming along.
The commenters.
Yes.
Said all that.
So it's only time for us to say arrivi dirt cheap goodbye. Goodbye.
We need a new thumbnail.
Yeah, we've got to do the thumbnail now. So assume we've gone. We're just going to do the thumbnail. Does it have to be with bubbles again?
I'm just going to put them in.
Oh, okay. Let's do one where we're looking really bored. That was all right, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Couldn't see.
Toodle pip.
Bye.